Hi everyone, it's Emma here from Bromley Brighter Beginnings. I hope you're all well. I just wanted to come on here and say an absolutely massive thank you to all of you who have donated to our contribution to the End Child Food Poverty campaign. It's been a really difficult year in so many ways. It's been so easy to feel disheartened, and what an absolute joy it was to see this morning that in the last 12 hours you guys have between you raised £3,265. That equates to 217 children living in the London Borough of Bromley who will now receive a supermarket voucher to cover the cost of their lunches during the half-term holiday. At Bromley Brighter Beginnings, we try to avoid political issues, really. We don't want to get distracted from our main focus, which is to provide for children in real need in this borough. And politics can unfortunately be divisive. But this campaign by Marcus Rashford, End Child Food Poverty, it has really demonstrated that poverty is a political issue, and you will see that there are plenty of people who are on social media right now saying things like, why should we provide school meals for children? It's the responsibility of the parents to provide their children with food. There are MPs in this borough who have said exactly that in writing. It is the responsibility of the parents. But what if those parents can't provide what the children need? What if they don't provide what the children need? Should that child go hungry? It's never the child's fault that they are in the situation that they are in. And at Bromley Brighter Beginnings, we see a lot of those children. We see all of those situations and how people are in circumstances in which, with all the best intentions, they don't have the ability to provide their children with what they need. One example is domestic violence. We see it so many times. There are people who are escaping from domestic violence. They've got children with them. They have literally nothing. And it's very common for abusive partners to destroy the identification documents of their partners as a way of preventing them from escaping. So when they do escape, if they're lucky enough to get a place in a domestic violence refuge, which is by no means guaranteed because places are so limited, and they do have to pay rent to stay in that refuge, they are then faced with a situation in which they have no income. And when you apply for benefits, if you don't have any identification documents, it takes weeks for those benefits to come through. So what is a parent supposed to do over those weeks with literally no income at all, if it's their responsibility and their responsibility alone to make sure that their child is fed? So the good thing about this campaign is that it's really demonstrated that there are people all over the country who do understand that. There are people who are now thinking, okay, well, if my government is not going to help these children, what can I do to help? And we've seen restaurants and cafes who are already really suffering because of the pandemic, offering to give free meals to children. No questions asked. If you need a free meal, come to us and we will provide it. We've seen taxi drivers, some of whom have had almost no work for the last 6 or 7 months, offering to drive families to food banks. We've seen parent groups setting up food banks at their schools to cover the school holidays so that those children who normally get a free school meal will still eat during the holidays. And this kind of determination and looking for creative solutions to these problems is really something that is very close to my heart and the hearts of all of the people who volunteer for Bromley Brighter Beginnings. It's really where we came from, this recognition that we do actually have all of the resources that we need. We don't have to wait for our government to do that. We can do something ourselves. We have the resources that we need and we can work together, and people have all got something to offer, and that's been really fantastic to see that unfolding over the last 24 hours. So thank you very much for your contribution. It's really appreciated, more than you can ever imagine. On behalf of my co-trustees and all of our volunteers, thank you again. Thank you for supporting this incredible task force that is Bromley Brighter Beginnings, and thank you for supporting the End Child Food Poverty campaign. I hope you have a lovely day.